As a child and as a young adult, I have heard so many people over the years use the phrases, don't be a tattletale, don't tell on people, and just don't be a snitch. And I don't understand those phrases. In some situations in your school years, you will find that this applies to situations like if you don't want the teachers to know you haven't done the homework. And when that phrase is used there, it kind of makes sense because you don't want to get in trouble and you don't want to get others in trouble. However, that's a minor thing, and this phrase shouldn't be used for bigger issues and problems in later life. I just heard that phrase so many times over the years, and it doesn't make sense, and it shouldn't be something we're taught, and I don't really know where kids pick that up. It's just not a correct phrase. And yes, as I said, it does fit in with some school situations, but if you are bringing this into later life, this does not apply to almost anything. Over the past year, I've heard so many people refer to different YouTube things as the big scandal and the big drama and everything else, and we shouldn't be referring to it that way because it's not just that big drama. It's really important that we all know exactly what we're talking about. So when we're talking about things with Alex Day and Sam Pepper, we should be saying their names because we need people to know exactly what's going on so they are informed and so that they know to stay away from these people. I heard this talked about in a video from a girl named Lindsay on the channel Portamosh, in a video that was uploaded about 5 months ago about sexual abuse when all the stuff with Alex Day came out. I'm going to link that video below, but she put it really good and she really opened my eyes as to why we should be naming and shaming these people. And although I do feel that we do name them a lot on Twitter and Tumblr, they're not really named on YouTube. They are referred to as that big drama. And that means that we don't really know. We're a YouTube community, which means that we should be talking about it on YouTube because it's about things on YouTube. So it doesn't make sense that we're only really naming it on other social media. And although a lot of people did name names when they were talking about consent and sexual issues back when all this was quite relevant, they didn't always name names. Not every single YouTuber did. And although maybe they felt they didn't need to, or they felt that everyone already knew, or they just purely didn't want to, really we should be. That's kind of it. We shouldn't be afraid because it is just so important that everyone knows how dangerous some people can be, and it's important as a community we get the message across that these people are doing things that are not correct and that we should unsubscribe from their channels, we should unfollow them on Twitter, and we should try and get them reported. I wish this was not the case and that there was no one to name and there were no problems and that we lived in a perfect community, but we don't. Nobody does. There's always going to be problems and there's always going to be people who spoil it for the good people. I made a video about this yesterday, which you've probably seen, talking about her experience with Sam Pepper. She was really brave when she made that video and she was able to name him and talk about things that happened between her and him. The video will be linked down below if you haven't seen it already, but I'm sure most of you will probably know the video I'm talking about. She was very brave and it took a lot for her to do that, and I'm very proud that she did and I'm very happy that she did because that will help people. And I mean, that video probably has about 200,000 views now, so it clearly has affected some people. And that's incredible. So by sharing her experience, she has helped a lot of people become more aware of the situation. And I just wish anyone who has been affected by these YouTubers, or just anywhere you can apply this in life, who's been affected by someone, shouldn't be scared to name them and should do it because it will help. I've never been in that situation and I can't use my personal experience because I don't know what it's like to go through something like that, but I can imagine that it's not very great, and I know that it would be hard to talk about it again, and it will be hard to name the people who maybe once you liked and maybe once you actually had feelings for, and now you're telling an awful story about them that you don't really want to be telling because you really wish it wasn't true. But unfortunately it is. I just want to tell you that if you do have a story like this, like Dotty's, like anyone who has come out and said something, please don't be afraid to share. I know it's scary, but just know that if you do have a story, it will help so many people, and then we can get more stories and more until finally this can all be over, which I hope it's really, really soon. I hope this video made sense, and I hope it helped a little bit. See you later, guys.